Hey guys, I just want to do a video on the fifth dimension, get into it a little bit more. So basically right off the bat, if I were to have to explain it, we're basically evolving. We're evolving extremely rapidly. We're evolving to basically live like, I'm sure other people have heard ever since you're a little kid about, angelic beings or aliens. Oh my God, they can communicate through their using their thoughts. They can. I don't. I mean, some of them can probably fly. Um, they consume energy in different ways other than just eating food. Um, Telepathic is a big thing that we've heard through your mind, communicating through your mind. And those are the big two, and consuming energy in different manners. Their bodies just become lighter, and that's basically what's happening to us. We're straight up just evolving very rapidly. I think over the last, well, it's been happening for probably many decades, but I believe especially the last decade and a half or so, we've really been evolving fast. And the next couple decades also, I mean, we're evolving very rapidly. I mean, with Earth Angels or Lightworkers were the first ones going through this. It only takes like, I went from probably a couple years from just eating full on, whatever, all different types of meat and everything, to now just eating less and less and lighter and lighter. I didn't even know what was going on. Now I'm just drinking like 2 vitamin protein shakes a day, and that's it. I can't even eat regular food anymore. I just spit it out. It's not appetizing. You don't see a commercial and you're like, oh my God, Red Lobster, it looks so good. It's like, ugh, food. Yeah, nasty. And it's not a choice. It's not like, and like I said, I just found out about all this. This all just happened to me like after 2 months after the solar eclipse that I didn't even take seriously. I ended up having my spiritual awakening and finding out who I am, that I was an earth angel. I made videos about that too. It's just a massive list of things, numerology, all different types of numerology, life events, synchronicities, a ton of stuff. But we're evolving rapidly. Look how fast that was within a couple years. And apparently we're going to be living off of solely off of sunlight. Think about how fast we're evolving to be able to do that, to go from just eating food, cow, red meat, chicken, and just boom, just start eating lighter and lighter and less, and within a decade or so you're living off sunlight. It sounds absolutely crazy. Just the fact that we do that sounds pretty far out there, but the fact that we're doing it so rapidly, that's what's really interesting, to be able to do this so fast. And I probably wouldn't even believe it either. Actually, I used to hear these things. I would just hear little pieces of it. Beings put here, there's going to be beings put here on the planet. They're going to go through it first, and then they're going to help everyone else vibrate at a higher frequency and get to the fifth dimension. I'd always hear that, and I never looked into it further. I would always just kind of like, where do these people come up with this stuff? Like, why don't we get everyone politically awake first, and then we can talk about whatever you're talking about. But it just happened to me, just like a brick wall. Like God just flipped a switch and it just happened, and I was like, Jesus Christ, all that stuff they were talking about was true. And then I started looking into it further about the sunlight, like, oh my God, like that's true too. It's happening to me right now. So that's basically what's happening. It's not fifth dimension. It's not a place you go. It's not like, oh yeah, let me type in the coordinates, longitude and latitude. It's not a place on a map. It's a higher state of consciousness. So it's really interesting. We're basically just evolving to be lighter, vibrate at a higher frequency, and just have, to be honest, just have better energy, good energy. Just to be able to, because you have to understand too, like the negative emotions of hate and greed and just not trusting people, ego, those are low, dark emotions, low, they call them, like in the third dimension, the world that we live in now, they call them low, like 3D, it's emotions that are low, dark, and dense in the 3D world. Now, other emotions that are light, like being happy and love, those are higher emotions that literally vibrate at a higher frequency. Those are like 5D emotions, and we're basically evolving to shift into this fifth dimension and just start thinking that way, instead of always everything's ego and dog eat dog, and we're not going to think like that anymore. We're not going to live like that anymore. So that's basically what it is. We're basically just evolving, and we're going to be so much healthier too. We're not even going to have to consume all these, foods and fats and all these poisons in the food. We're not even going to have to consume that anymore. We're literally evolving like the aliens and things like that we've heard of. You know what I mean? Hearing about beings living off the sun and being able to communicate through their minds and things like that, being able to read people's minds. That's where we're going. We're evolving. That's it. That's basically what it is. We're evolving, and we're evolving rapidly. And I believe probably over the next decade or so, more and more people, it's going to start happening to them, the ascension symptoms. And that's why we got to make people aware of what it is, because the first people going through it, like people like me, light workers, earth angels, I had no clue until it was like over. It was literally almost over by the time I found out what was happening to me. I didn't even really look into the fifth dimension at all or know about it until I was already like in it. It was like, but the information is there, but there's going to be a lot more as it happens to more and more people, obviously. I'm very grateful there was information, because without it, I don't know what would happen to me. It's when you go through the ascension symptoms, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. Energy surges, which back then were panic attacks, and just all kinds of crazy stuff, and you don't know what's happening. Anyway, so I just want to do that quick video about third dimension to the fifth dimension, low emotions, higher emotions that vibrate on a higher frequency. We're basically evolving, and a huge thing. And in these bodies too, there will be no pain and no sickness. So how cool is that? I always used to wonder too, like, how come animals aren't constantly getting colds and things like that? Like, you look at an animal like in the wild, they're generally just extremely healthy, then they get old and die. It's not all these like weird health, all the cancer and all these sicknesses, and we're not going to have that in 5D. It's going to just be healthy, clean, beautiful bodies, light, and good emotions. It's not going to be based off ego anymore, and it's not just going to be a material world based off ego. So that's basically what it is. If I had to explain it real quick, we're evolving. We're evolving to become a better species overall. Basically evolving to live and be like those like aliens we've heard of since we were kids. So I'll wrap this video up right here. I just want to make a quick video somewhat explaining the fifth dimension, trying to keep it simple for you guys. So I'll wrap this video up right here. Thank you so much for watching.